Hello friends, welcome back to our ethics series. Today we are going to discuss something that actually affects each one of us every single day. Why do people behave ethically or unethically? If you look around, you will see that some people are extremely honest while others easily compromise. Now this doesn't happen randomly. There are three big reasons behind it. The first reason is the person himself, his own upbringing, values, what he learned from parents and school. For example, if the childhood you were always taught that lying is wrong, you will carry that into your job also. The second reason is the culture or country we live in. In Japan, for example, punctuality and discipline are so deeply part of their culture that people automatically follow them without needing strict laws. And the third reason is the organization or industry where you work. If your company values only profit, you may be pushed to cut corners. But if you are working in an NGO that values service, you will naturally behave ethically. So ethics comes from a mix of our personal values, our culture, and the organization we become a part of. So now let's dig a little deeper. When we say ethical behavior, it is not controlled by just one thing. It is influenced by many factors. It depends on your personal ethics, the way you make decisions, the kind of culture your organization has, and the target given to you, and of course, the example set by your leaders. Just think, if your boss is corrupt, the employees usually copy that behavior. But if the leader is ethical, people respect and follow that. One of the best examples here is Abdul Kalam. His honesty and simplicity in public life inspired not only his colleagues but an entire generation. So, next one is personal ethics. At the heart of everything is personal ethics, your own inner compass of right and wrong. For example, Mahatma Gandhi's personal ethics of truth and non-violence didn't just guide his own life, but it became the foundation of India's freedom struggle. Even today in business or government, if a person has strong personal ethics, say they genuinely hate corruptions, they will never take or give a bribe, no matter what pressure comes from the outside. So personal ethics is like a foundation stone. Next one is decision making process. But personal ethics alone isn't enough, right? Many times people don't do the wrong things because they are bad, but simply because they forget to ask a very simple question: is this right or wrong? For example, imagine a food company that sells adulterated milk. The managers there may only calculate profit without thinking about the harm to people's health. Why? Because they didn't stop to ask the ethical questions. So before taking any decision in life, friends, always pause for a second and ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? That little pause make a huge difference. Now let's move to the organizational culture. Think of it like the atmosphere in which you are working every day. If the workplace says profit first, forget about the environment. Employees will start thinking in the same way. But if the company says we will never pollute even if our profit is less, employees automatically feel responsible and behave ethically. Between these two companies, whom would you trust? Of course, the second one. So culture silently shapes the ethics of people working inside it. Next one is unrealistic performance expectations. Even with a good culture, problems come when the targets are unrealistic. For example, suppose a sales team is told you must sell 1,000 cars in just 1 month. What will happen? People will feel so pressured that they may start manipulating the data or making false promises or even cheating customers. That's why it's very important that goals are achievable. Otherwise, under pressure, even honest employees may slip into unethical practices. So next one is leadership. The real guiding force. That is, a leader is like a role model. If the leader is corrupt, the entire organization starts rotting from the top. But if the leader is ethical, that honesty flows down to every employee. Look at the Ratan Tata. He always said, I don't want to make the most profit. I want to win trust. And because of this approach, people believe in the Tata brand even today. That's the power of ethical leadership. The next one is ethical mind. Beyond the leaders and the rules, there is something even more important, that is the ethical mind. An ethical mind always thinks beyond personal comfort. It asks, what kind of citizen do I want to be? Should I support my friend even when he is wrong? Is my gain more important than society's suffering? For example, if a company mixes harmful chemicals in food, an employee with an ethical mind will not stay silent. He will raise his voice even if it cost him his job. That's the difference between just following rules and truly being ethical. The next one is the whistleblowers. These are the bravest examples of ethical mind in the action. They see something wrong and they expose it, knowing very well that it might cost them their career or even their safety. In India, we have the case of Satyendra Dubey, who exposed corruptions in the Golden Quadrilateral project. Globally, Edward Snowden revealed US surveillance practices. Both of them risked everything for society's benefits. That is real ethical courage. The next one is situational ethics. This says that right and wrong might change depending on the situation. Normally, we say lying is wrong, but imagine a case where lying could save an innocent person's life. In that moment, lying actually becomes a right thing. So, situation ethics focuses on the greater good instead of blindly following the rules. And this is very practical because real life is full of complex situations. Finally, we come to social ethics, the ethics of the society we live in. And remember, this is never fixed. It keeps evolving with time. Think about it. Earlier, gay rights were completely taboo in many countries. But today, they are accepted in several societies. In India, a transgender becoming a police sub-inspector in Tamil Nadu was a huge step forward. Smoking bans, gender equality, women in the workplace, and these are all examples of how social ethics change over a time. So what was ethical yesterday may not be ethical today, but what is ethical here may not be ethical in another country. Ethics is always moving forward with the society. So friends, today we saw that ethical behavior doesn't come from one place. It is shaped by our personal values, our decision making, the culture of our workplace, the target we are given, the leaders we follow, the ethical mind we develop, the whistleblowers who inspire us, and even the society we live in. The real takeaway is this: ethics is not just about rules written in books. It is about pausing, questioning, and choosing the greater good, even when it is hard. So next time you face a dilemma, just stop and ask yourself, am I being ethical? So, thank you so much for listening, friends. Keep reflecting, keep questioning, and keep growing. I will see you in the next lecture.